Cyberpunk 2077 and Witcher dev CD Projekt Red bucks industry greed and says, quote, "We see no room for microtransactions for our single-player games." How about that, huh? It's a single-player games, though. Don't get too excited. They're not wiping the board. This story comes to us from Spencer Bakuli over at Bounding Into Comics. Today, we're looking at a topic that's been a hot-button issue in the gaming community, microtransactions. And more importantly, we're celebrating a developer who's taking a stand against them, CD Projekt Red. In a world where microtransactions have been the norm, it's refreshing to see a developer like CD Projekt Red declare that there's no room for microtransactions in their future single-player projects. Remember how I said earlier it's just the single-player ones? Well, that's the truth. The multiplayer ones are still going to feature it, so it's not exactly a 180 on this, but they're trying. It's a step in the right direction. It's a breath of fresh air, in fact, in an industry that often prioritizes agenda over player satisfaction. But let's talk about these microtransactions for a moment. They're not just a nuisance, they're also a plague on the gaming world. They prey on players' wallets, enticing them with shiny virtual items and shortcuts, all while nickel and diming them to death. It's a predatory practice that undermines the integrity of gaming as a whole. And really think about it. These kind of like microtransactions, they're mostly loot boxes, they're mostly armor upgrades, they're mostly, buy to win kind of scenarios where you just buy the toughest gun that's completely broken, you know what I mean? It's not been nerfed, and it's just completely broken. I think the shotgun, the automatic shotgun they have in Modern Warfare right now, or Call of Duty, one or the other, is just ridiculous. You just blow people away with it. There's a sword, I think, in Modern Warfare right now, like an old-timey Claymore style sword, broadsword, and you just take a guy out with it. You just take their head right off with it, and so that you pay to win, I guess, is how that works. And then there's the issue of social engineering agendas in games like Cyberpunk 2077, where CD Projekt Red has created an immersive, visually stunning world. It's also important to remember the controversies surrounding the game's portrayal of gender and its handling of sensitive topics related to politics. Cyberpunk 2077 has been hailed for its ambitious world building and captivating storyline. But let's not forget the criticism it faced for its portrayal of, being able to change whatever you'd like and notoriously mix and match whatever you'd like. And its failure to address, I got a little Freudian slip there, whoops. And its failure to address important social issues. And that, again, it's not that games need to be responsible for this, but the Cyberpunk game went out of its way to appease the people that are giving J.K. Rowling a problem over there. It went out of its way to appease people that simply wanted to tear down the idea of capitalism. Now, I get the idea that Cyberpunk is all about this, and it should be part of it, that this is corporations run wild. It's kind of a feature of Cyberpunk. I get it. But it's when we're pushing these agendas in order to have an effect on real life. When it's not just a storytelling mechanism, when it's supposed to spread a political ideology. That's the problem. And that's all over the original introduction of Cyberpunk, before CD Projekt Red learned their lesson and decided to rebrand this whole effort a little bit. CD Projekt Red's commitment to delivering satisfactory single-player experience without resorting to microtransactions is commendable. Now, I know that's a mouthful because I tripped over it, but please remember, this is a step in the right direction. I assume that this company is a big ship, so it's a little hard to turn it around all at once, but maybe in the future we can look forward to multiplayer games from CD Projekt Red that don't feature microtransactions. I mean, I gather that it's convenient to be able to go spend $5 or $10 to be able to get whatever you need to advance to the level you really want to play. But I guess it's just sort of, what's the point? What is the point? Go find a game that does what you want to play, and then you don't have to worry about buying extra things to get to the part that you want to play. I don't know. I guess I think a little bit outside of the box, but I'm just one of these people who just doesn't see the point in paying more money for the game I already paid money for. It's very silly. It's like PlayStation charging you for internet access that you're already paying for. They're not giving you a wireless router. You're not connecting to the PlayStation internet provider. You're paying for them to go through your router that you're already paying for access to the internet through. This is the same effect as the microtransactions. Thankfully, CD Projekt Red has at least decided to spare us from having this in a single player game in their future projects. The next time you're tempted to buy a game that's riddled with microtransactions, think twice. Support developers like CD Projekt Red and only their projects that do the single player, that do the no microtransactions thing. Don't just support CD Projekt Red as a whole, like, unless that's your thing, I guess. But in reality, we really need to make sure that we're showing these companies what's the right course of action and what isn't, because money's the only thing that's going to get them to pay attention. That's what got Sweet Baby Inc. in there. That's what got the thinking of microtransactions in there, that they could charge you money after you bought the game. Like, I don't know why. It's like you're sitting there, you're enjoying the fries, but in order to have your drink, you got to pay extra. It didn't come part of the meal that you ordered, right? It's a little bizarre, right? Seems a little strange, you know? Oh, you want gravy on your mashed potatoes? That's going to be 10 cents extra. What? I thought it was part of the meal. You know, no. See? It's very deceitful. It's very dishonest on its face. So I'm glad that CD Projekt Red is turning this around. Maybe you feel differently. Let us know down in the comments how you feel about this, and if you want to know more about the specifics about the future games that are coming out that will not be having microtransactions, the link to the article by Spencer will be down in the description. And as always, I'll see you in the next video, and until then, good luck out there.